Hey folks, MACT at MACT Garage, and you got to ask yourself, how did we get to this point? How did we end up having to do an entire engine replacement with a remanufactured engine from GM for this, what was it, 2012 GMC Acadia SLT with the 3.6 engine? And yeah, it only had like 113,000 miles on it. And then the original engine grenaded itself, essentially. Not entirely grenaded, but had it driven much longer, it would have grenaded. I heard it running. And I even asked Jeff, I said, Jeff, didn't I ask you if that was a diesel engine? Yeah, it sounded like a diesel engine, folks. And yeah, if you look at it, it's crazy. It is just crazy, because check this out. Yeah, that's how it was. And then if you look over here, really varnished, and over here, not so much varnished. So we got to ask ourselves, how was this engine taken care of? What was the condition of the oil, and what was going on? We know that it's terrible, okay? This thing is shot. And we got an oil report, because we took the oil report out. So most of the time I don't have the actual engine to do an oil report, but this time I do. And I'll post this up here as I'm talking. But I got an oil report here from Blackstone. And I'll post clips of it here to the right or left. But it does say that, Jeffrey is the one that owns the engine. So it says, compared to what we usually see from these 3.6 V6 engines, there's a lot of metal in this oil from your Acadia's engine. Universal average is so typical wear after a similar oil change interval of 5,600 miles. Aluminum suggests excessive wear at the pistons, while iron is from steel parts like the cylinders, shafts, and copper and lead are indicators of bearing wear. The low viscosity of the flashpoint readings aren't very cautionary, and the TBN was okay at 2.6, but the high wear metals could spell trouble. If the engine isn't running well, or if you hear unusual noise, seek inspection. Well, I'm going to tell you what, folks, we didn't tell them that the engine was destroyed, right?
No, you don't hear it. Diesel.
That thing sounded horrible, didn't it? And Jeff recorded it before he took it out. But yeah, so Blackstone did not know that this engine was in its condition. The oil was sent in, just saying the mileage and everything else. So a GM 3.6, what is it, LLT or whatever engine it is. I forget what they said it was. But the engine, yeah, LLT, just self-destructed. I mean, these 3.6s, unfortunately, are known for this. And let's go ahead and check out the actual oil, metal wear. And the aluminum was at 9 parts per million with universal average at 4. And the chromium was at 1, which was meeting the universal average. The iron was at 77, and the universal average is 21. The copper was at 38, universal average is 4. The lead was at 31, universal average is 0. And the tin was at 0, so the universal average was 0. And then, of course, we have the oil additives and everything that were in there, but we were not really worried about those. I'll post that down here too, as far as the oil additives and it's standard oil. But the whole point is the metal wear of this engine. This engine was shot, and that's not good at 113,000 miles, folks. I mean, and it's just a horribly designed engine, I think. But yeah. The oil viscosity, of course, was low, is 51.7. It should have been between 55 and 63. And the CST viscosity is 7.79. It should have been between 8.8 and 11.3. The flash point was at 365, which it should have been higher than that at 385. and it had 1% fuel in it, and the TBN, like they said, was at 2.6. So the total base number wasn't bad on the oil, but in all aspects, folks, this engine was shot. Okay, the maintenance on it, oil change intervals, I'm gonna say that was not good. In dealing with this engine, the front of the engine is here. As you're looking at it from the driver's or the passenger side, this is, of course, bank, what is it, Jeff? Bank 1? Is Chevy call this a bank 1?
I think so.
This is a bank 1 and bank 2, and this would be up front by the radiator. This is back by the firewall. They apparently have an oil cooling issue or something going on in that bank, because this bank is far better shape. So, yeah, we got a lot of evidence that this engine just isn't designed for function. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but it is a horribly designed engine. The cams and everything else, I don't know about what these little cam phasers are. Little baby cam phasers as far as I'm concerned, compared to what Ford uses, but, you know, that's what they use. But, yeah, I can't tell you, folks, what this engine went through. We can only assume that it was not maintained properly. And I don't even know if a good maintained engine would be able to handle it either. I mean, the oil test report didn't, you know, the type of oil didn't seem like it was bad. So, but it does use a 5W30 oil. So Jeff's going to run a 1030 in his, I think, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
So he's just going to start it out with a 1030 synthetic, 3,000 mile oil changes, and go from there. But once we get this thing put together, yeah, gonna definitely be a better engine and do some break-ins and everything on it. But there you go, folks, a real engine oil report with a real engine to look at and say, hey, how's my GMC Acadia doing? And if it's making the noise that you heard on this video, yeah, this is what you're looking at. And I will tell you that Jeff tried to find somebody that would do the front end on this engine and repair it, and even the Chevy dealer said no. The Chevy dealer wouldn't even touch it. Independent garages wouldn't touch it. Nobody would touch it. And all of them said basically, get a new engine. That was the fix. There's no salvaging this engine. Get a new engine. So I don't know what that says about it, but hey, I'm gonna take a Ford Edge water pump issue over this any day. And I think by the time Jeff's done with this, I think this is the first and last GMC endeavor he's jumping into too, because it's proven to be problematic at best, I guess. So anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, MACT Garage, and also join the Facebook group MACT Garage. And my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day. And Mercy Grill's always got something to say. The Band of One's always playing some music to entertain you. See y'all later.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.